Hello everyone and welcome to this EV Geek Studios video, and today is an exciting day because somebody among us bought a new car. So Joel, you bought a new car.
I bought a new car, yes.
Technically leased it. We can talk about that more later.
Yes.
But that means you are no longer a Tesla owner.
Yep, first time in 4 years I'm not owning a Tesla. You are correct.
So, what happened?
I mean, it wasn't really anything, nothing happened. It's no anti-Elon, anything like that. The Tesla was literally 5 years old. It was a 2020 Model Y. It had 100,000 miles on it. I was starting to put money into it. You know, just replaced the air compressor, $5,000. So I was it's getting up there in miles, and we got a great deal on this new EV. So it was just a time to pull the trigger in and get something new, less miles, lease, something that we can get out of in 3 years if we needed to. So yeah, that's basically the reason why.
Yeah, so it's interesting because not too long ago, you and I did a video with my Bolt and your Model Y, and we talked about kind of the maintenance and such we had done on them in the time we'd owned them.
Which wasn't much.
Which at that point was not much. A month after, 2 months after that, AC in your Model Y died. Yeah,
so the AC, so I've been getting some error codes with the AC. They would pop on and say, probably for about 2 years now, I'll pop on and say, AC's having issues, it may be limited, and then like 2 miles down the road would go off. So I thought, just some sort of glitch. I actually never went into the service mode and looked at any of the codes or anything. And then probably about 3 months ago, it came on and it stayed on. And it's Arkansas, it's June, and it was hot and it was just unbearable. So did all the service requests through Tesla. Did not get it fixed through Tesla. Actually got it fixed locally through a certified repair shop here. And it was everything. It was the AC compressor, it was everything. And
it was the super manifold, it was the whole 9 yards.
It was everything, and it was a $5,000 fix.
Now lucky for you,
had an extended warranty and it was only out $300. But for most people who don't have extended warranties, that's one of the times it came in play. You know, I paid $2,000 for extended warranty with a $5,000 repair, so I'm a net $3,000 on that. So,
right.
Yep.
Now, you haven't brought it up, but I've noticed ever since you had done that, it kind of seemed like you were looking more.
I did keep some because I kept worrying.
And I don't know, and I think it was probably subconscious, but I think it might have made you worry a little bit more about the reliability of the car as a whole.
Yeah.
Which isn't to say Teslas are unreliable. Nope. No, plenty of them that have tons of miles. But it was one of the first original
Model Ys. 2020 was the first year, I believe. So we're dealing with, you know, these first models that were coming out. I didn't know anything about reliability, what issues they were going to have. So yeah.
And as a note, every time you drove your car after getting the AC fixed, you would complain that you thought it was louder.
Yeah, so I don't know. If you guys are testing ones out there, I don't know if there's some sort of insulation that goes around the AC and the compressor, and that when they fix it, they didn't put it back in, but the compressor just seemed loud. I mean, blew cold air, no problems. It was louder, and I don't know if because that's just what happens after you repair it. I don't know, but it was a mental thing. 5 years old, 100,000 miles, in an EV that when it was released was brand new. You know, there was no other, refresh or anything like that. So it was starting, I would say more is playing more to my wife's head than it was to my head. She was getting more worried about than I was.
Which, she was also kind of itching for a new car anyway.
She was.
You know, she's been driving a 2022 or 2022 EV6.
Launch edition. I mean, we got
launch edition.
First month it came out, yep.
Great car.
Yep.
Has had 1 or 2 minor issues fixed under warranty.
ICU.
And the, not ICCU, the, whatever it is that does the AC-DC, AC charging or DC charging.
Yes.
The charge control module, whatever it was. I can't remember the acronym, I'm so sorry. Anyway, but that was fixed under warranty, not a big deal.
Still has a warranty on it still.
And that was one of those too, it didn't immobilize the car. You just couldn't DC fast charge it.
Yeah, I didn't even know. Yeah. So yeah, it just said you can't DC fast charge, which at that time we weren't road tripping it, so it was fine.
Yeah, so all of that to say, you have leased a new car, and we're going to talk about the logistics of that.
Right over there, yep.
We're going to talk about the logistics of that in a second, because this is the first time you've ever leased a vehicle, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was always under the impression, because, when we talked to the dealership, I was under the impression that lease laws were horrible, but I didn't realize several years ago, they changed leasing laws that made it more beneficial to the customer and less beneficial to the dealership.
Yeah, so we can talk about more in a second, but I think at this point, I have held y'all off long enough. Let's go look at what you bought.
Let's go.
So as you just saw, Joel, you have got yourself a 2026 Kia EV9 light, long-range, rear-wheel drive.
Yes, it's a mouthful.
A mouthful, but a lot of important words in there. So the light is the base model.
Yes.
But this is the long range, so it has the big battery.
So it's the step up from the base model.
So it's step up from the base model.
Yep.
And then it's rear-wheel drive.
Yes.
Can you get a light
You can.
all-wheel drive? Okay.
Nope.
Anyway, so
After this, it goes wind.
we'll do a full tour of the vehicle, kind of give you a look at the outside, because there are some model differences between this and the last time we drove EV9.
Good, because I don't know what they are, and you can point them out to me.
Not that many.
Okay, good. One big one.
One big one.
Yep.
And then we'll go through the inside a little bit. It hasn't changed a whole bunch versus the last time, but
Nope.
still worth looking at anyway. But I want to talk first. So you leased this.
Yes.
What were the logistics of that? Like, how does that work out? For a lot of our viewers, I have a feeling also are in the same boat where maybe they don't quite know how leasing a car works.
So if you bought a car, most likely, if you bought an EV during COVID or a couple years after that, you probably are going to have some negative equity in your EV. That's just the way it was, because EVs were stupidly priced high. And the best way to get out of that is to lease, because you can move that negative equity into a lease still and have a lower monthly payment as you would if you were to finance a car for 72, 84 months. So basically, the difference between leasing this for 3 years and buying it outright is a difference of about $200 a month.
Okay.
So it's a big difference. And in 3 years, I can walk away from it. It's a 15,000 mile a year lease. Anything over 45,000 miles in 3 years, which is about what my wife and we put on our car, is 15 cents a mile. So if I go over 10,000 miles, it's only $1,500, and I can either roll that into the next loan, pay it outright if I just want to walk away, or however I want to do it. So the leasing, for those of you who are older, leasing has, from what I've been hearing from dealerships, leasing has changed over the last several years to make it more beneficial to the consumer and not as beneficial to the dealership.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, because I've never leased a vehicle, never really looked into it.
And I didn't know anything either until the dealership recommended it, when I told him that payment's too high. And he says, well, we can actually probably lower your payment if you decide. We can probably lower your payment from what you're paying on your Tesla, which, if you think about what I paid for my Tesla and when I bought it used, and this, it's the same purchase price.
Right.
Because a used Tesla back then were around $60,000.
Yeah.
So, and he said, well, I can get you in a lease less than what you're paying now for a car payment on your Tesla. And I was like, ooh, I don't know about leases. And then they explained it to me. By the way, huge shout out to the people up at Everett, Kia in Batesville. Great operation. We're very transparent, did everything on the phone, did everything by text message. Everything was taken care of. We just went in there, signed the paperwork, and was out in 20 minutes.
Yeah, so that's a great time to talk about, because we have worked with Everett's a lot on this channel. You know, we've worked with their GMC dealership, we've worked with their Chevy dealership, we've worked with their Ford dealership.
And this is a new dealership for them.
They've always been excellent to work with. They very recently took over a Kia dealership from a different auto group.
Out in a little bit of country of Arkansas.
Out a little bit in the country, yes, for sure. You drove about an hour and a half to get to it from Little Rock, or North Little Rock, Sherwood, whatever.
It's all within 5 miles of each other.
But so let's talk about that process a little bit, because I mean, if they deserve praise, and we should give them praise. So you did most of the deal through email, text message, phone call.
Deal. It's actually the whole deal through text message. The only thing, I mean, basically they needed our payoff amount, our loan number, and my wife was able just to do screenshots and send that to him through text message and all that. And basically that was it. I mean, it was probably 10 or 12 text messages. We showed up. Everyone, Mike was there. He took care of us. We went over to finance manager, signed all the paperwork. And if it wasn't for us, we were there probably a total of an hour. But if it wasn't, that was for us talking. We took it for a test drive real quick, make sure it's what she wanted and things like that. But yeah, it was probably buying my Tesla from Colin at Evolve Auto, and this were probably the two easiest car buying experiences that we've had. In and out, and basically with chatting within an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, and that's great. That's what we want to hear, because that's one area, when people talk about direct sale versus dealership models.
As compared to when we bought my wife's EV6, when we actually just showed up to do it, we were there from 11 to 5.
Yeah. And so that's one of the things, a lot of people, when they talk about the direct sale versus dealership model, there's so many bad dealership experiences that make the direct sale model really, really seem like the only way to go. But there are legitimately still dealers out there that can do and work with you and get you in and out in no time.
And a side note, because my parents are thinking about flying out from South Carolina and also buying a Kia and then driving it home, He said, you wouldn't even have to drive to Batesville. We can do everything on the phone, and we'll just drive the car down to Sherwood, the hour-and-a-half drive, so you don't have to drive up here, drop it off, sign the paperwork while you're there. You can sign it by e-sign, and then you're done. So, yeah. So
that's cool. So, moving on. Why the EV9?
So, my wife, I think my wife has always owned big cars. You know, she had the Equinox when it first came out, which was big. She had a Pilot. She went to the Telluride. And then she went to the EV6, which was, she loves the EV6, but she just likes her cars to be a little bigger. And she never complained about the EV6, but she's always kind of had in the back of her mind, I really miss a 3-row. Even though we never used the 3rd row, we have 2 kids. The only time we use the 3rd row is if someone's coming with us or my parents are visiting. She just really wanted that car, a 3rd row, and she was always between kind of a Hyundai, Kia, which one she wanted. The Ioniq 9s are a little bit out of our price range. They are a little bit more expensive than these EV6s. So she's the one that kind of did all the research. She's the one that found the car and everything like that. Her main thing was she wanted captain chairs in the back. And the way Kia does it, you only get the captain's chairs in the light long range or the Land, which going from those two is probably a $10,000, $8,000 to $10,000 difference. And she wanted the one that had the biggest battery. So the light long range has the biggest battery, and it has the captain seats. Now, are there some things she misses on the interior? Yes, she doesn't have the memory seats, which is one thing, but there's trade-offs, you know, but you do get a sunroof on this, which is weird. You don't get the next model up would be the Wind. You don't get the sunroof on the Wind. So the way Kia options their things is a little quirky. So you have to kind of pick, you know, like we have a Wind in the EV6, which doesn't have a sunroof, but it does have the extended range. So it's weird how they model their cars. So
yeah. So I thought the timing of it was really interesting because last weekend we drove an Ioniq 9.
Yep.
And we both kind of came to the same conclusion on it, that we wanted its interior.
Yes.
In an EV9.
Yes.
We both kind of agreed. We thought the EV9 looked better. Your wife, on the other hand, loved the way the Ioniq 9 looked.
Yeah, she does, but she also made the same comment too. She likes the interior and the setup of the Ioniq 9 better than the EV9.
Yeah. And so I just thought it was really interesting that after all that was said and done, that, I mean, it was, Tuesday when you sent me a text saying that it was 3 days later, you're like, hey, we're buying an EV9. She was
looking online and places like that, and, you know, she says, do you know anyone at Everett? I said, yeah, I know some people at Everett. They're great people. Reached out to Maggie at Everett. She put me in contact with Mike up there, did some text messages. And yeah, I mean,
so I just thought the timing of it was hilarious. Now, some differences between EV9 and Ioniq 9. So this has a smaller battery than Ioniq 9.
Yeah, this is a 99
by about 10 or so
it's the
kilowatt
99 kilowatt hour battery. Yes.
Which means it has probably a little less range.
This one is like 302, 303.
Yeah. That said, I still think this is the better. I like this better than the Ioniq 9. The Ioniq 9 has a better interior, but I think as an overall package, especially, and that's when we were talking about when we actually do the tour.
Yep.
For this to be the base model, there's still a ton of options in here and a ton of nice to haves. Like you might notice, we're sitting inside the car for this part instead of outside. It's because it's currently 90 degrees outside and it probably feels closer to 105, 110. And it was just too dang hot, and so we decided, hey, we're gonna just sit in the car.
But it has.
We've got cooled seats on the base model. We've got the AC, you know, auto AC, dual tri-zone climate control. All of that's great.
You have the sunroof.
We've got a sunroof. We've got like tons of stuff in here for this to be a base model. It's a really decent package. One question I have going back to the purchasing. How does tax credit work on a lease?
So we don't know. They never mentioned anything about us with tax credit. Now I know if we would have bought the car from them, that dealership does not do point of sale for tax credit. Okay. We would have to do it on our own. So I don't know if that was something that was built into their. I know the dealership handles, from what I've heard online, the dealership handles the lease.
Right.
They take the credit. They handle it all. So that's something that they did on their end, I'm assuming. We don't have to do anything on our end to get that lease. We didn't sign anything or anything like that.
Okay. All right. I think we've cooled off enough.
Yep.
I think we've done enough talk about the purchase, why you got here.
Yep.
I think now it's finally time to go back outside in the heat. We do the quick outside tour. We'll kind of show off the inside, and then we'll take.
By the way, difference of 11 degrees from the shade on this side of the parking lot to the sun on the other side of the parking lot.
Yeah.
Let's go in the sun.
All right.
Yep. All right, and as always, Sebastian's going to give us a quick walk around. But before we do that, I spent about 5 hours yesterday, 4 hours just in the hot sun, doing a graphene ceramic coat on this vehicle. So I used the Adams graphene ceramic coating. We'll put a link in the description if you're interested in that. It's a very great product. It just takes a long time to do, and it was hot outside. But I digress. Sebastian, tell us about this car.
Yeah, so this is actually pretty cool because as we've talked about before, a lot of times when we try to review these cars, we don't get whatever the base models are.
Yep.
And so I'm pretty pumped to actually get to look at the light long range with everybody, because I have a feeling this is probably the one that moves the most units.
That's what I would guess too. This is the one you see on dealerships the most.
It has a lot of really good options in it, but is also still the cheapest way you can get the big battery.
Yep.
So, on that subject, you'll notice here up front, you don't get the signature little lights here that you can go in and customize on the screen. You also don't get those if you get the matte paint, I believe, on the trims that do it. So
I think it's the. I don't even know if the wind does. I think you have to get the.
I think you have to get
the Land or the GT.
I don't think there's any real loss here.
Nope.
Of course, you still get full LED lighting here.
Yep.
You do get these wheels.
This was one of the things my wife had issues with, was the wheels. I
don't love really any of the wheels that they do on the EV9. These just kind of look cheap. It's fine.
Yep.
Also, Joel, I'm not saying this to offend you, just so you know. I know it's your car.
No, I know. I mean, that's my wife actually, when we bought the car, she was like, is there any way we can, like, you know, my wife doesn't know about cars. She was like, any way we can put, like, covers on them? I was like, well, you can't cover these because that's the rim. We'd have to put, like, new rims on the car. So,
we can get a set of Martian wheels for it.
Yeah, I'm just going to set of Martian wheels. If whoever wants to send me some, let me know.
So you still get on the base model power fold mirrors. Yep. Ooh, and it unlocks on approach. Yep. Very nice. You'll notice the door handles do power auto present.
So that may have happened because we have smart key set up on my phone.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Really cool that every trim of the EV9 comes with a digital key.
Yep.
You will notice, however, you can't unlock the doors from the back.
Nope.
Which on a family SUV, I feel like you should be able to do.
And we noticed that in the Ioniq 9 too as well.
Because if you think about it in the way I'm thinking of it, you're approaching the car with your child in a car seat, like one of the infant carriers that you have on your arm, or just to have a toddler in general. Not being able to just immediately open the back door, having to come up here, do the dance.
Yep. You hit the,
there we go.
Well, also today, like we were shopping, we were getting ready to get some stuff, and me and my wife taking the cart back. My son couldn't get in the car because we were doing something and he couldn't get in the car yet.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, coming around back, this still looks like the EV9 we know and love. You get full LED lights, of course. You've got, again, huge shout out, Everett Kia.
Yep.
You do get a secret rear window wiper.
You might won't be able to see it, but actually you can a little. I didn't even know it was up there until I was ceramic coating.
Which is pretty sweet. Happy that it has one. Yep. You do still get power lift gate. Go ahead and pop that. And you'll see, I mean, for a third row, this is not a bad size trunk. And I mean, you still get pretty easy one click to drop the third row. Actually gonna drop both sides, because why not?
Yep.
Oh, I said it was. And so yeah, I mean, that
By the way, this matting came with the car. I mean, it was one of the features that came with it, so.
Yeah, and you'll notice back here you have, same as Ioniq 9, you have a 180 watt 12 volt outlet here, as well as a button to open the trunk from the inside in case you want to do something like car camping. And then on this side, you have a 15 amp, 120 volt outlet. You also get buttons here to lower the second row seat. So if I hit this one, the left side should fall. Very nice. Do that one. Very cool.
If you wanted to do like camping or something, you could.
And appreciate that you can do it all from here. And I mean, it's a pretty flat.
It is.
A pretty flat floor. Easy to pull this back up, get it locked, boom. And that one, the strap decided to flip over the other side, so I'm not going to do that right this second.
Yeah, we'll do it later.
Come up here to close it. You do get a button to close and lock, which is nice.
So Sebastian, why do we have a CCS combo adapter in the back there?
Yeah, so yours did not come with a NACS or a CCS to NACS.
It did not come with
It did come with a J1772 to NACS. But we had that because...
And it came with an EVSE.
Right.
Yeah.
But we had that because the 2026 EV9 has a native NACS port.
And that's the biggest upgrade, probably.
That's the main thing you're going to notice, yeah.
Yep.
That means this can natively charge at Tesla superchargers. You can charge everywhere else with an adapter. However, this will charge worse at a Tesla supercharger currently than it will at like a 350 kilowatt Electrify America station.
This does have the little boost, though, to give it a little more than like the older models do,
Yeah,
correct?
so they did improve on the booster on board, because the issue here is our current Tesla superchargers. So right now you have V3 stations that are supported, and then the V3.5, which are the V4 posts with V3 cabinets. They don't support over like 500 volts. And this being they call it an 800 volt vehicle. The actual voltage on the back is like 595.
Yeah.
Or one full. So, I mean, it's actually not that far off from Tesla supercharger range. But because it's not that means it feeds the 400 volt class, and it has to boost. On this though, when the booster's improved, I believe it'll do 125 kilowatts.
And it will hold it.
And it'll basically hold it flat all the way till you get pretty well just to 80% or above. But that's better than like your EV6, for example, that has the worst booster. It only does like 97 kilowatts.
Yeah, it's peak.
So Kia claims 10 to 80 on this, 24 minutes. If you have a 350 kilowatt, that's what they say, but you just need a charger that can do like 230 kilowatts.
So 5 minutes more than the standard Kias.
Right.
Yeah.
They claim 34 minutes, 10 to 80 on a supercharger, or on a current supercharger, which honestly, 10-minute difference for half the speed ain't bad. But again, it's because it just sits there flat the whole way around. I'm actually going to come up on this side real quick and raise this seat back up because I'm going to show off while we're here. Let's look at these, how you do the third row and how you do all that jazz. Don't laugh at me.
There we go. Now the third row's up.
So, getting to the third row, first you can look at the second row seat here. You've got two ways you can do it. You have a button here on the top of the seat, which that's mainly intended for if you're in the third row trying to get out. You also have a button here. Press that button, you'll see the seat drops, slides forward, pretty smooth.
Yep.
Climbing in.
Now we all know third rows are going to be tight on these, so.
So I am 6 foot tall.
And you have a cargo net below you.
And I have a cargo net under my feet. And I mean, let me get that to a more normal position. And like, it's a little tight.
Yes.
But this is fine, honestly.
Third rows aren't meant for 6'2" adults to sit in.
If you want to hand me that.
You can show the climate thing too.
So coming back here, you will see you have USB-C port on both sides. You also have one cup holder on the driver's side, 2 cup holders on the passenger side. I want to know why all of the manufacturers do that.
Maybe tall, maybe like a bottle, and then maybe like a big old tumbler or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, you do have climate vents up here for the third row. They do turn on and off. You have dome lighting, nice. You have another climate vent. You've got your climate control panel above the second row, as well as more vents. The light does not have heated seats in the second row.
No.
It only has that up front. However, you do still get USB-C ports on the back of the seat, as well as buttons to slide and move the second or the first row passenger seat forward. Yep. So, pretty cool. I would like to get out, please.
Big, large compartment down here, too, that goes the whole way through.
Nice.
So, yeah, you can come on out now.
Please let me out.
Let me hit the button.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm actually going to hand this back to you.
I'll hand it back to me. Sure.
So that I don't fall.
As you can see here, window, another cup holder if you need one down here. By the way, love the we'll talk a little bit more, love the gray color too. You know, my wife has the black interior. I'm not a big fan of that.
Right.
On the EV6.
Yeah, I like the black. I kind of like, though, I think they still do a two-tone interior, but it's pretty nice. Only other thing to look at on the outside, let's look at the front trunk.
Yeah.
Because this was actually a really big surprise to you.
It was, considering what the front trunk on my wife's EV6 has, or our EV6. Actually, it's my EV6 now. This is her EV9 now.
So we've never driven one of these that wasn't all-wheel drive. Yeah. This one is rear-wheel drive, and you'll notice, because of that, the front trunk is much larger than the other vehicles we've driven, or the other EV9s we've driven.
Deeper.
And the reason is there's no motor and no heat pump.
No heat pump, nope.
On EV9, you only get heat pump if you get all-wheel drive. Let's talk about the rear-wheel drive powertrain for a second. So
you're not smoking anyone offline with it. So.
It's not quick.
Yeah.
I haven't driven it yet. But on paper, it's 201 horsepower, which is pretty dang low for an EV. And 0 to 60 in 8.8 seconds, I believe is what Kia claims. Not quick for an electric car. Fine for a SUV, fine, perfectly normal. But in the world where it seems like even the slowest EVs are like 5 to 6 seconds.
Yes.
And yeah, things like Toyota Camry's doing 6 seconds, it's a little surprising.
Yep. But we do have access to your battery terminals in here. Very easy, quick way to replace your air filter. We have a video about that. I'm sure we'll do one again when I have to replace this air filter. But yeah, nice deep trunk. Looks like it holds up to 85 pounds and also has a netting too as well.
Nice. So I'm gonna pop this closed. We'll take one final look at the outside of this EV9, and then we will hop inside and show everyone off the inside.
All right, since I've already driven this car for a while, Sebastian is finally behind the wheel. Sebastian, kind of give us a tour of the interior and the infotainment.
Yeah, so immediately, this is familiar.
Yep.
Right? This feels like the EV9s you've been in before, which is expected. They haven't done any huge overhaul to the interior on this car yet. Again, this is the base model. Technically the second trim level, but base model. And as we previously mentioned, you get heated and cooled seats.
In the base model.
In the base model. No heated steering wheel, but that's okay. You still get these super comfortable, interesting seats where you have this like mesh headrest and what have you, but then, you know, full leather all the way up. You get a sunroof. And we were commenting on this earlier, that
this is a really nice
headliner material is interesting. It feels like the cloth from a seat, not the typical kind of what you would expect the headliner to feel like.
Yep.
Looking around in here, you have down in your center console area, you've got, of course,
teeny
center
There's
console.
a very long one in the back. I showed that in the other video. It goes the whole way forward.
Yeah, and then this is teeny tiny wireless phone charger. Here's your my key is dead location. Fingerprint sensor for profile use. You've got various buttons here: auto hold, hill descent control, pull up cameras, parking sensors. The base model does not have 360 camera. It only has a rear view camera, which is fine. And you can come in here and whatever. Not a whole lot else. I wonder. No, okay. In one of the cars I was in recently, I was able to like turn a knob while I was in the camera and adjust like the brightness of it. I thought it was interesting. Anyway, 2 cup holders, standard, can fit big boy Gatorade bottles.
Big boy Gatorade.
Nice. It's hot outside. We needed to get ourselves a drink. And so and really everything in here, like, there's some of this feels maybe somewhat cheap, but this is the base model, kind of expected, but it doesn't feel bad.
No.
And coming in here, otherwise, this is CCNC that we know. And we can actually go through and show some of the stuff that you can't show off when the car is not activated.
I know, like navigation. So
like navigation. So if you're not familiar with the EV9, you kind of have this 2 display layout, 2.5 really. Get your gauge cluster. You've got this little climate display, which I still complain about on EV9. If the steering wheel was where I would want it to be when I was driving, I can't see that screen. I would have to...
Hey, go ahead and take off that screen protector because there's a huge glare. I wonder if that will help. Look at that. And it's like getting a new phone. Oh, yeah, that helps out a lot. There we go. Now you won't be looking at us the entire time.
But anyway, I still complain a little bit about this little climate screen because the steering wheel blocks it so much, you have to scooch it.
And in the EV6, that's a dead space. There's nothing there.
Right.
So they just put something there, basically.
That said, so you do have this screen. You also still have hard buttons for temperature, fan speed, mode. Makes sense.
Yeah.
You can also, life hack, this little button, which is always visible no matter where you're sitting, when you hit it, pulls up your climate screen then on the actual infotainment system that you can see. And you can come in here and you can switch between front and rear. You can also do that here, which is nice.
It's just a weird little spot.
It's a weird little spot. They made use of dead space. I'm not going to fault them too hard on it. Coming through here, let's come back home. Take a look at CCNC. So this is your home screen. You've got your map, what you're currently listening to, your EV menu. You can swipe over. You get phone, your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, wireless in this one. Not in your EV6.
Nope.
So CCNC does also include that wirelessly. You've got YouTube, entertainment, which we can't currently get to work even though this is activated in Kia Connect. You've got weather, few clouds, 95 degrees.
Sports, I bet you it doesn't work either because we were having an issue with Kia Connect, so.
Oh?
I guess you can select teams and get information. Interesting. Look at that. So that does work.
Interesting.
Yep. So you can get scores.
You get your vehicle diagnostic stuff. You can come in here. Not a whole lot else there I want to talk about. I do want to come in here. EV menu. So we've seen this on the other cars using CCNC, where this is kind of where you come in when you enter the EV menu. You either come up on this screen or this screen. This looks similar to what we've seen on Kias and Hyundais before, where you kind of have the car and this like bar of range. 183 miles with climate control on, 200 without. We're leaving AC on, Joel.
And it also gives you a range on that cluster over there, depending on how you drive.
Yeah, we'll get there in a second. But when you swipe over here, you can see it'll show you kind of nearby stations. You can turn on and off utility mode. So utility mode is basically like your camp mode. So it keeps climate on in the car. It'll dim the screens, things like that. Yeah. It is not meant to be used like a dog mode.
No.
You should be the only one who's in the car when you're doing it. You should not rely on this for like pets or anything like that. You also have here, you can on-demand precondition the battery, which is nice. Right now it's hot enough outside that the car doesn't need to be preconditioned. And then you have your kind of energy use, and you can come through here You can see, so like we've used 61% of it on this drive for climate, 31% in electronics, 8% of a drivetrain, 0% for battery care. You've got EV range history, so distance to empty versus your odometer. Charge efficiency, so this is kind of like each time the vehicle's been driven, what you've averaged. So you can see 2.9 seems to be where this settles in. This was your drive home yesterday from the dealership.
86 miles, yep.
Which that's all at like 70, 75 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. 2.9 honestly is about where I would expect a vehicle like this to be. You can come in here, you get battery health on the EV9 now. We saw this on Ioniq 6. I wasn't sure if it had made its way to EV9. Looks like it has. Yep. You also see you get this really nice screen, which we have a clip in our Ioniq 9 review talking about it, where it actually shows you how much power of a charging station is delivering, how much power is going into the battery, what the vehicle is requesting, how long until it's done charging, etc. Super, super detail rich.
Yes.
Super rich detail on that screen. Love it. You can come in here as well in typical Hyundai Kia fashion. You can set up your departure charge settings. You can set up your AC charge current. You can do a charge limit, so you can set that down to 80%. And you have your vehicle to load settings all the way down to 20%.
And I was also able to change that in the app as well earlier.
Yep. Which we'll talk about in a second. Since you have that, we can show it off. Coming home, coming to map. Here's the one thing we can never show you in a Hyundai Kia video because he has to have active Kia Connect or Blue Link to operate. I'm going to go up here and hit search. We want to go to Austin, Texas. You'll see it has this magic button that's been missing the whole time. Include charging stations. And we should see it.
The older Kia EV models do not have that.
Okay.
Yep.
And you should see, boom, it has done a route plan, although I question it some.
Okay.
Guidance will start now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Guidance is at this volume.
There we go. She's off now.
Let me come back because I wasn't trying to. Wanted to stay in that screen for a second.
So, yeah.
There we go. So you can see how it's planning our stops. A couple things we've noticed. This car, as we mentioned before, did not come with a CCS to NACS adapter.
Nope.
The route planner is still factoring in CCS vehicles.
Yes.
Or CCS chargers. And I cannot find any way in this screen to tell it what adapters you have. So, you know, in Rivian navigation, for example, you're able to tell it, do you have a NACS to CCS adapter?
I remember, wasn't the GMs like that too?
Ford does that as well.
Yes.
And GM has something for it, but I think you have to be the owner of the car to set it up. But those GM is using Google Maps, so you just go into the filter settings and choose what you want. I cannot find this on that, which means someone who maybe doesn't know could end up being routed to a charger that they don't have.
Yeah, because the PFJ, that's a Pilot J.
Both of these are CCS stations.
Yeah, you would need an adapter.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's going backwards. I was confused. I was like, why is it?
Yeah.
Anyway, so but yeah, and again, other thing that I've noticed, doesn't seem to be any way to come in here and tell it like, I want to get to my destination at X%. I want to get to chargers at whatever percent. And so you can see here, because it wants us to stop at 57%.
Yeah.
To then get to Hope at 25%, that's fine, honestly. I would like to maybe do a 10% arrival, whatever, so maybe we could skip this step.
Plus, we're also working with limited chargers in Arkansas.
But
we
I
have
still would like to have the option to come in here and tell it whatever percent. And I try, hitting route options. And when I get into route options, so this is just telling you which options, like which routes it picked. Now I have to wait for it to load. Oh, it actually chose a different route that time.
Yep.
Interesting. Anyway, but like if I come in here, more routes, is it going to do anything? Okay, I found a couple more economical, prefer free rate. Like, that's all, whatever. I don't really care about that. I have to wait for it to finish calculating before I can hit any buttons. So, Joel, as a former Tesla owner, how infuriating was that, just sitting and waiting?
It's okay. I mean, I will say the whole way up to base, I did use FSD just one last time.
One last time?
And that was nice.
One for the road.
By the way, it worked perfectly.
Yeah.
No problems.
So coming in here, like your route settings, you've got like EV range, so it'll show you the bubble, which is nice.
Yeah.
And again, the bubble is the reason why I'm like, why would I stop here to charge?
Yeah.
If I can make it there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There may be something in there we just haven't found it yet. We'll do some more research on it.
Coming in, wrong button. But coming in here, like you have route options. Oh, is it just I'm going in a circle. I'm so sorry, y'all.
You should know how to do that by the time you finish watching this video.
Okay, that's fine. Start, please. Please. I was trying to just get to
do
this.
route options again.
Navigation settings is where I was actually meaning to go. You'll notice, I've noticed looking through here, there are no options for EV
For
settings.
SoC, state of charger.
Like, there's not anything related to EVs in here, which I don't quite know. And I've done some digging, and I just have not gotten there yet. And so it's like, there's not even any way to come in here and tell it. Well, actually, that's not true. There's one way to do what I was about to say. If you're not going anywhere, and you hit the little charger icon, to show you the big list of chargers, you can then hit the menu. Nope, not the menu. Filter. And you can filter by speed and operator. But again, there is no plug option. There is no CCS or NACS or anything like that. And the charger speed only goes up to 150.
Yep.
This car charges at 200 something kilowatts. You would expect there to be a filter to make sure you only charge where. Now you can see it is factoring Tesla into the route, which is nice. But I would like to see like an actual CCS versus NACS.
Something that we've never heard of before.
You've never heard of Sun Country Highway?
Or EV duty? Excuse me.
Golly, Joel.
I know, it's this weather, dude. It's killing me.
Anyway, and then this is just doing the kind of typical, here's all the chargers.
Now that's what it would do in my EV6. It would not route plan. It would just show me all of them. There's destination too. So when you get to your destination.
So if we had a destination chosen. I do appreciate though when you do click on these, it gives you like actual, let me find, where's Franklin's? Why is it not popping up on my list?
It's probably too far away.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Because those are only 3 or 4 miles away.
Gotcha. Anyway, when you click on them though, it does give you kind of the plug share overview of it, showing you kind of the information it can get from plug share, what kind of chargers are there, based on limited information, phone number. Nice. Anyway, I'm done complaining about the navigation.
It's better, but we're not quite
almost.
there. Yeah.
So close. You do also get driver profiles, which is nice. You get 2 of them. You can do, so you have your setup, Summer, your wife.
Yep.
You, Joel.
Yep.
You also have a guest profile, which is nice. And I also was noticing, like if I switch to Summer real quick, it's going to change our climate control.
Yep.
You notice it's blowing harder now. It also, earlier, changed my range estimate, which it doesn't seem to be doing right now. Anyway, and I think that might be because we've sat here long enough in both profiles that it's recalibrated some. But it seemed to be kind of calibrating based on who was driving, which I thought was interesting. I'll switch it back to you. And while we're in the screen, after we switch,
Yeah, I know what you're going to look at.
it does take it a second.
Yep. I like how it says your name and everything like that. Pretty cool.
It tells you to drive safely. It ain't easy. You come in here, you can come up, and you see digital key.
Yep.
So you were able to set up phone as a key on your phone.
I did.
Which is pretty sweet. Do you want to hand me the gimbal real quick?
Sure.
Let's look at that for a sec, because this is one area we never get to look at.
So it's maybe hard to turn off the brightness. Oh, we're gonna do a screen record. All right.
Hold on, give it a second.
Yeah, this is the home of the Kia Connect app. So you see, we have, which is actually nice too, is I can link both of my cars in here.
Nice.
So I can link Gandalf the White and Arctic Drift, which is the name of it for my car.
Why is it Gandalf the White?
Because my old car was Gandalf the Gray. For those of you who are Lord of the Rings fans out there. So yes. So as you can see, this is Gandalf the White. It has your, you can do your fan, do your remote fan, air conditioning. You can lock it. Kia Charge Pass, which basically that's plug and go. Plug and charge, I'm sorry. Climate settings, find my car, vehicle status, maintenance, charge settings. So if you go in here, you can do the charge limits, discharging limit, vehicle to load, charging current, and charging notifications. So if I go charge limits, as you can see, 80%, things like that's what it's set at. And then down here, you have other features. So this is where I had to go and add my digital key.
Gotcha.
So I clicked that, and then this app in the car had to be together to pair up and things like that. You also have the Kia Connect store where you can actually download different like display screens. There's not a lot. It's mostly just basketball teams, but you can download the display screens and things like that.
And they're kind of expensive for a theme.
It's like $40 for the entire life of. I was thinking like $10.
Yeah, because ultimately you're just buying a theme.
You're just buying a theme. I thought
it doesn't change anything.
For $10, I can see purchasing it, but for $40 Probably not. You can also do speed alerts, secondary driver. You can finance everything in here. You also have all your support in here. So, for example, you can call Kia, roadside assistance, all that from the map. The app is fine. It just takes a little bit of time to load. And back to the home, you can also do location. So if you want to know where your car is, you can find it on the map too as well.
Cool. And that digital key is an Apple Wallet key, isn't it?
It's an Apple Wallet key.
So can you show me that real quick?
So sure, we go to Apple Wallet here and go to Wallet.
You're hoping that the hard way.
I know. And then you can tell I never use Apple Wallet, but there it is.
And so this is what I thought was really cool. I could hit this button, tap my name,
Yep.
and you could send me a key to drive your car.
Yep.
So if I, for some reason, was borrowing your car,
So if I said, hey, Sebastian, I can't pick up my car today from the shop, can you go pick it up? I can share you the key.
you can just text me a key.
You could go to the shop and pick it up, bring it home for me. Yep.
That's pretty sweet.
Yep. And it gives you unlock and drive privileges. I can change the privileges too, to where it just unlocks only, where it's a valet mode. I can make it to where you have to put a code in when you get in, so make sure it's you. So yeah, pretty cool feature. That's not something we see a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pretty sweet that that's included.
Yep.
On the all trim levels.
And it also works with Android too, and
Yeah.
Google's and all, and also Google as well. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, that's pretty cool. You just gave me your car key. Thanks.
You're welcome. Actually, I didn't share it with
Oh,
you.
okay.
So
You canceled it.
too bad. You can't steal my car.
So yeah, that's pretty sweet. Happy that we were finally able to show off an app. And so yeah, looking at the gauge cluster real quick, this is
Good. I can get a drink.
the Hyundai Kia typicalness where you kind of have your speed on the left, range on the right. In the middle, you can either look at your driver's assistance view, you can look at your current trip, you have a compass, which would also be your navigation directions if you had navigation going.
Oh, I didn't know that. Cool.
And that's about it. And if I believe when you go into this screen, you can scroll through and you can see range estimate and your tire pressures. But otherwise,
Yep.
not a whole lot of info here.
Nope.
This is drive mode dependent as well, so you can hit drive mode down here at the bottom and switch between into sport mode, and you'll see it kind of change a little bit. You got the My Drive mode, you got snow mode, you got eco mode.
Sport mode under 200 horsepower.
Heck yeah, that's probably how you have to drive it. You still get the regen paddles as you expect on a Hyundai Kia. I do believe this is not the new fancy iPedal that remembers what you have
No,
it
it does
set to, like we saw on the i9, which is a bummer.
Yep.
So go ahead and
Default's
put
to
that in
level 3.
or iPedal Max.
You need to put on iPedal Max. Yeah.
Although when you put it in iPedal Max, I'll put it in drive. We can show you this. You put it in drive. And you notice when you put it in reverse, it resets, and now it's back in level 3.
Yep.
Anyway, it doesn't keep it. Let's talk about that. You still get to bop it. You still get this weird button down here. Twist, twist, push for park.
Mm-hmm.
Super strange.
Yeah, that on button is a weird angle.
Yeah. And as previously mentioned, you got buttons on the side. There's how you open your front from the inside. You got your trunk button. You got your charge port door, parking brake, gauge brightness. Again, heated, cool seats. No memory seats on this trim level.
No, that was the one thing that really bummed out my wife about. You have to go up to the Win version to get those.
Yeah. And I mean, they wouldn't even have to put memory buttons.
Nope.
Because you have the driver profiles.
If there was a way to link to the driver profiles, that would be great. You wouldn't even have the buttons, but there's still no way to link to the driver profiles.
It seems like that would just be a software thing.
It's a simple software update, yep. So when
But
it
that's just to
yep.
push you to the new,
That
the
pushes you
next
up
trim
in-
level. Yep.
Yep.
No digital rearview mirror. You do have home link buttons.
It does
but
have
no,
MyQ.
Okay.
So you can, if you have a MyQ account, you can connect to MyQ to where you pull up to your garage, it automatically opens up for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's the bass sound system?
It's a lot better than it is in the EV6.
Okay.
A lot better than the EV6. Well, you know, the EV6 had all those issues with the subwoofers and everything when they first came out, and it just doesn't sound right still. I mean, it just doesn't sound good, but this
Gotcha.
one a whole lot better.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I'm trying to make sure I covered everything up here. Take a quick peek from here to the back.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Oh yeah, also in typical Hyundai fashion, you do have the passenger talk, so I'm now speaking in the back of the car. You can adjust the volume up, and oh, that's such a weird experience.
It's like an echo.
You also have quiet mode, which we were using this yesterday in my wife's Santa Fe because it turns off through your speakers. So like if you have a kid in the back asleep, whatever, you don't want to disturb them, but you still want to listen to music, you can isolate it only to the front seats and a pretty quick one button tap. Also, like on here, you have these programmable star buttons. So like this one is programmed right now to do CarPlay, nothing set up,
Yep.
so it's telling you to add. And then this one on the steering wheel is set up
For EV.
to open the EV menu, which means if I wanted to, I could hit this button, then that button, and then be preconditioning the battery.
Yes.
If you weren't navigating to a charger to have it automatically do it for you.
Yes.
Also, little Kia tips and tricks. You can press and hold these buttons, and it will actually, like, you'll feel it vibrate harder and it'll automatically open up like this is your previous destinations, and I can press and hold the home button and it pulls down the quick control panel. You can press and hold the map button.
Yeah.
Anyway, just little cool tidbits. Press and hold setup, and it did something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it takes you straight to the software update screen. This does claim to support OV updates, although I don't see a way to check that.
So with Kia, you have to have the top of the line Kia Connect access in your app to get OT updates, which is the $20 a month.
Which you get for free for 3 years.
So I get, yes, which and it used to be just a year. Now it's 3, but my EV6 has the $19.99 a month.
So you won't ever pay for it?
No, because I'll give it back in 3 years. So
Yep. Yeah. All right. So really, I don't have anything else I want to get into in here. I think we should go get everything set up, take it for a spin, play with the HDA2. You said it seems to work pretty well. Seems to be pretty aggressive, you said.
Wait till you do the lane changes.
Okay.
I want your opinion on that.
Okay. So we'll take it for a spin, or I will. You've already done it.
I've already done it. I drove it 100 miles yesterday. I'm good. So.
All right.
All right, Sebastian, on the interstate. What do you think?
So yeah, just driving through town, I was correct. It has no power.
Yep.
I mean, like it has some torque.
Yep.
You know, you can feel it does the electric thing where it does pull a little, but this is probably the slowest electric car I've ever driven.
But do you think people who would drive this
No,
car
I don't think
power?
I don't think people care.
Soccer moms or people who have large families driving kids around probably don't need.
But we're in a very unique situation where we drive a lot of electric cars.
Yep.
And I think this might be the slowest one we've driven.
Yep.
Or at least it felt the slowest.
Yep.
Well, that doesn't matter. Because, I mean, it can get up to highway speeds.
Yep. Just
and
fine.
It's fine. Speaking of, we're out on the interstate. We drove through town a lot for a while there. And, I mean, as far as, like, road noise and bumps and everything, felt fine. We're out here on kind of concrete interstate. And, I mean, like, there's a little bit of road noise.
Yep.
It's really
It's
not
not the
bad
best
at
road
all.
either, right?
No, this is an awful highway. I just turned on HDA. We're locked in immediately. It's showing my lane lines. It's showing me the car in front of me. I can come in here if I tap turn signal. It's signaling, and we're doing an automatic lane change. You are dadgum. That is aggressive.
I told you.
It like beelines.
It's just like a 90-degree angle. It does not play.
I do like on the visualization, it shows you the cars around you. It shows when there's something approaching your blind spot, in addition to having the blind spot monitors here on the mirrors.
Now imagine doing that 15 miles an hour faster. It's a little bit more aggressive.
I do also appreciate the, as we mentioned before, the range estimates kind of are always calculating, and they are drive mode dependent, which is kind of cool. So like you can see, eco mode, it says 180. Here it says 175. It gives you a max and min feature, which I think is also handy because if you're doing a bunch of city driving, you're probably going to be more likely to hit that max figure. Meanwhile, if you're doing 75 miles an hour or driving like a bat out of hell, you're probably going to get closer to that 134 mile range that it's saying on the screen right now at 61%. iPedal felt fine other than having to put it in iPedal Max. This, because it's a rear-wheel drive model, you actually could just drive around on iPedal Max all the time. They generally don't recommend doing that in the all-wheel drive Hyundai Kias because iPedal Max keeps the front motor engaged, which would give you worse efficiency at highway speeds when you're just cruising and you don't need the front motor. But in this thing, it's fine. Just leave it that way all the time.
It is capacitive wheel, I believe.
Yeah, I guess I haven't checked that yet. I'll do it in a second.
It does take a bit for it to cut on.
Got police officers behind us, so I'm driving normal. I'm actually going, I mean, that guy's flying, so I think he's a better target than we are, but
we do have temp tags on, so we are good to go.
And I touched the wheel, so I'm gonna have to wait again for the capacitive thing.
This is a big turnip here. We'll see how it handles it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm gonna go towards that way. Just kind of loop back.
Very precise directions there. I like that. You're going that way.
I'm not going towards
Conway?
Yeah.
You're going towards Little Rock. There we go.
Well, I guess that's the same direction. You know what I meant.
Yep.
Golly, it still has not complained.
It takes a while, I told you. Yep.
And this is a big corner, so I might take over here in a second.
Yep.
I mean, give the car a chance. Give it a shot. Keep hands on steering wheel.
There we
Capacitive.
go. Yep.
Nice. Honestly, there's a little bit of kind of sway.
But that's a big corner.
But that was a big corner, and ultimately, it kept us in between the lines.
At 60 miles an hour.
At 60 miles an hour.
Yep.
Which is fine. And so, yeah, this is, you could eat miles.
By the way, if you want to get over, this would be the best time to do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to get on 30, so this is fine, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, you could eat miles on this, no problem. Especially, like you said, if the sound system's not terrible. When
Nope.
because you're on a road trip, you're not going to be sitting in silence, most likely. Maybe you will, I don't know. Maybe you're a
No,
weirdo.
God, no.
You like to be alone with your thoughts. I know I don't.
No. You've seen my kids. We don't have quiet cars.
Anyway, so you turn the radio on, all this little tiny bit of road noise that is here disappears.
Yeah, like we had the radio on the whole way back yesterday from Batesville, and it was all this kind of road and no issues.
And yeah, I mean, this would be a mile muncher, especially you get somewhere, you stop, you plug it in, 20 minutes later, you leave.
Yep.
It's repeatable, it's predictable, especially now that you have on-demand preconditioning for the winter, or if it's, even hotter, although apparently the car doesn't care if it's 100 degrees outside right now. It's capacitive. You just have to give it maybe a little more pressure than I was giving it just then. And so, yeah, dude, this is awesome. I'm excited for you.
I know, for a base model, and I'll probably never drive it, so, I mean.
Because your wife seems to be in love, and we all know that means you don't get it.
I don't get it. She said we will share.
But she's already picking out stickers for the back.
She's already got stickers picked out.
She wants to get the license plate for it that says her initials on it.
I told her we had some new floor mats coming in. She didn't seem interested about that. She likes the cloth floor mat, so yeah, I pretty much won't have any say over this. We are getting the windows tinted, so that happens next Friday. So
yeah, I mean, I don't think we need to do any formal final thoughts.
Nope.
Really, the final thoughts on this will be the fact that you're going to have it for 3 years.
Yep.
So we'll be able to, every major milestone, talk about how it's anything that's added to your updates, how it's held up, things like that, because you've got it from new, baby.
That's right. We'll do some charging tests on it.
We'll be able to do charge tests. If we wanted to, we could range test it.
Yep.
You'll be able to take it on trips and kind of give a overview of like how does it actually. Okay, it just phantom braked.
Yep.
How does it actually handle repeated charging on road trips and things like that? We'll be able to kind of do it all, which is awesome. I love it.
Yep.
I'm excited.
All right, thanks y'all for joining us. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also tap that notification icon so you know when new content drops. And we will see you again on another EV Geek Studio review. So long, everyone.